if you think about your behavior as a consumer on amazon.com.au, you already know what you want to buy. Oh, I need a gym bag. My gym bag is broken. I'm going to go on Amazon. I write in gym bag. Okay, so we already know when customers come onto Amazon, they already are looking for something to buy.
Their buying intent is almost 100%.
Exactly
meaning
right.
They like, I want this product, I'm going to look it up and I'm going to buy something. And that's why like Amazon in general is the best business.
Welcome to the Conquer podcast, ladies and gentlemen. And today, this is probably like when it comes to Amazon FBA, online business, selling e-com products online, this is number one question we get is, what product do I sell? How do I know if my product will sell? What is a winning product? How do I know my product is profitable? These are kind of the questions, and it's completely fair enough because your success of Amazon FBA business, not only in Australia, but anywhere, your product choice is about 80% of the success of that, if not more.
It's 100%, because if you choose the wrong product, you don't have a business, right? Like it's actually everything because it's the foundation of the entire business. Minimum 80%.
Yeah. So finding that product is extremely important. It's extremely crucial. And what we're going to break down in this potty today is, what does that actually mean and how do you find a product? And I want to, start this off is that finding a product, and especially if you join our Conquer Amazon Academy, we teach you how to find a product. It's not something that like, oh, I want to be an influencer, I want to have like a hoodie brand, have Rons on it and everyone's going to buy. That is not what a successful business is. When you're selling a product on Amazon Australia, what are we looking for, lads?
Data. We're looking for data.
Demand. Like, Quizzy, you're like,
Well, I was actually I'm thinking here and kind of like to what you're saying, like the main premise is that there's intense strategy behind picking a winning product. It's not like random to what you're saying. Like it's not just like, I think that this product's cool, so I'm going to try it.
Yeah.
Or my auntie Cheryl said that those candle diffuser, they're hot, I'm going to launch that. It's like, no, your auntie Cheryl doesn't know shit about online business.
Yeah.
Like it's strategy, and we have very specific metrics and data points that we look for when validating a product to launch on Amazon. And it might sound then intimidating, like, oh, it's what? Like that sounds, but it's actually very simple. It's like when you know what you're looking for, and once you've accustomed your eye to that when you're on Amazon, like it becomes very easy. Every single time I'm on Amazon, literally looking for products to buy that I can use, I'm like, well, I'm just going to quickly check the search volume here, check the demand here, using Zonguru, the software, and like, boom, this product's viable. This is viable. Like literally every time I'm on Amazon, I find a viable product to sell. And the point is because we know the strategy, we know what actually creates a winning product.
Yeah.
And that's what we're going to kind of like pass on in this episode here, right? To everyone listening, like we're kind of going to give away the secret sauce here of like the fundamental of your business is the product, and we're going to unpack that in this
and
episode.
we do it in like a specific order as well. Like there's the way we look at different data points along the journey of finding a product, which then gives you great product ideas. And you can sell anything on Amazon, but it doesn't mean people are searching for it. So like you can literally sell anything, but the goal of selling on Amazon is to make money. Like you can sell a product and sell like 1 unit every month, but you're not making money. You want to make money so you need to fulfill what people are looking for.
And that's the main premise of a product is like demand. You said like, if you can sell a product but you're selling one a month, well that ain't enough to bloody make you money, right? Yeah. That's not enough to like even give you like a little bit of a side hustle money, let alone like quit your job. And everyone's target is like essentially to quit their 9 to 5. So demand is step one.
Can I actually, before you go to step one, and this will lead into why step one is probably like the number one thing, or why it's number one, right? Is that I want you to think about product research for an Amazon FBA business is completely different if you're doing drop shipping or private label or whatever, right?
There's other business models.
So every business model, you need to do specific market research of how products are sold via that business model. So the epic thing about Amazon is that Amazon is a search engine. So that means that if you think about your behavior as a consumer on amazon.com.au, You already know what you want to buy. Oh, I need a gym bag. My gym bag is broken. I'm going to go on Amazon. I write in gym bag. Okay, so we already know when customers come onto Amazon, they already are looking for something to buy.
Their buying intent is almost 100%.
Exactly
Meaning
right.
they like, I want this product, I'm going to look it up and I'm going to buy something. And that's why like Amazon in general is the best business.
Exactly.
That they're coming looking for your product saying, I want to buy it. It's just your job to give them what they want.
That's right. We're going to teach you, we teach you how to find that product that Australians are already buying and looking for on amazon.com.au. You're just giving it to them. That is literally what it is.
Yeah.
So this is how we find that product.
Can I add something there as well? Like we're talking about amazon.com.au, that's where people are searching. But in recent years, I've noticed a huge push from Amazon actually promoting products on Google as well. They're paying advertising to promote your products. So people aren't even going on Amazon. They're going to Google and typing in a product and then seeing your listing pop up, which Amazon is paying for to put in front of you. I actually know that Amazon pays more for advertising than what we do and gets our products higher than our website.
And this goes back
so it's
into
double search volume.
Yeah, it's so good. And it goes back to the main point that like Amazon Australia and Amazon in general, like this is why it's taking over in Australia. And when it started, like it flopped, but like, and everyone was like, oh, it's not going to work in Australia. It's like, of course it's going to work in Australia. It's the richest company in the world, or one of the richest. They have unlimited marketing budget.
Yeah.
They're going to spend so much money on advertising to make sure that everyone buys from Amazon in Australia. Like it's impossible to miss it. When I was in Melbourne like 2 years ago, I was just walking through the main strip in Melbourne where you can imagine what the advertising costs would be for billboard stuff. It was just Amazon everywhere. And that's Amazon promoting your products, our products. Saying, hey, come on to Amazon. And then we have our products there. Amazon does the friggin' advertising for you. Like I said, they do all the Google advertising, like for free.
They outspend us on Google ads. We don't do a lot of Google ads for a website, but they're literally, I see our ads all the time. I'm like, wait, that's not my ad. That's them pushing our products. It's amazing.
And what we're essentially doing then as sellers is partnering with Amazon.
Yeah.
We're in a partnership with them.
Yeah.
They're pumping out advertisements. We're putting products on their platform and they're saying, hey, if your products are good, we're going to pump them out to other people. We both win because Amazon takes a percentage of our sales.
Yeah.
We're all winning.
And this is how the demand's growing on Amazon Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now we're going to break it down of like when you're doing product research and there are tools. So you might hear us go through Zonguru, for example. There are tools that you can use that actually give you these data points. So we're not just making these numbers up. You literally, we can see those. So number one, Eric, you started off with demand. Explain what demand is and what we're actually looking for when we're looking for demand.
Demand is how much people want something. So think about it like you're at a soccer stadium and everyone there, like most people, most demographic are, for example, men, and they like certain beverages. So there might be in a kiosk, let's say Fanta, but there also might be beer. Which one do you think is going to have more sales at a soccer match? Well, it's going to be the beer because the demographic there are men that love beer. So there's more demand for that thing. That's basically what demand is. It's like how many people want something is demand.
Yep.
And in the premise of Amazon, it's like how many people want certain products because there's infinite products to sell on Amazon, but some products are in more demand than others.
Yep.
And it's our job, firstly, to find what is selling really well, what has demand, because then you know that it's a safe bet to sell that product knowing that other people actually are going to buy it.
Yeah.
Rule number one for any business, doesn't matter what it is just make sure people want your thing. Make sure that there's desire for it. You only want to lean into where there's actual desire for a certain thing, demand. Now, there's a couple ways to find demand on Amazon, and it's through using Zonguru, like Veronica mentioned, but it's through primarily search volume, which is a number of how many people are searching for a certain thing. So we have this microphone here. So if we wrote in microphone on amazon.com.au, and then you can load up Zonguru on the Google Chrome, it's like an extension, it's the easiest thing to use. It'll tell us 600 people searched for microphone this month. And all right, so that means 600 people have come in here with 100% buying intent, wanting to buy this product, demand. But then you're also considering to buy, let's just say, a prosthetic plastic plant. So you write in plastic plant, right? And then you load up the Google Chrome extension, and that only has 50 search volume. So only 50 people are looking for that product. Well, you're going to sell the product. You're going to want to sell the product that has more demand because there's a higher likelihood of people then purchasing your product, which means there's a higher likelihood of overall success.
Yeah. 100%.
And what's the other aspect of demand, Chris?
Revenue. How much money is being made with this demand?
Show me the money.
Show me the money. And that's the biggest key point about Amazon. We're fulfilling demand. We're not creating demand. We're fulfilling the demand. So if there's revenue being made and there's search volume, search volume and revenue normally go hand in hand.
Can you explain to what
So revenue is how much money that product is making, or those products are making per month. So if the search volume, like Eric said, is 600, and then they're making, on average, all those top 10 products are making $20,000 on average a month, that's really cool demand. So we're looking for money being made as well as search volume. And sometimes you'll find high search volume, but maybe it's not the right keyword. We can talk about that in the next step. But you might find the right next keyword, and then all of a sudden that's where the money's being made. So it's search volume and revenue what we're looking at to find how much demand there is.
Yeah, maybe elaborate, since you've brought up keywords, of what if you're looking at demand on using ZonGuru, and then you're like, oh, the data doesn't seem to match up. Like, let's say there's 1,000 people looking at microphone, but then the revenue is actually really low. You're like, oh, yeah. So what does that mean?
So that's really the next step in the process. It's once you've found and that there's demand for an idea, a product idea, well, like you said, Eric said, the plant, if there's a demand for that plant, that might not be the main keyword we're looking for. So we use the software like ZonGuru again, to find out what is the most highly searched for and highly purchased keyword. What keyword is making the most revenue?
Like I said, prosthetic plant. If we search that in, that's probably not the right keyword. Everyone's
probably
looking for plastic plant, fake plant.
Yeah,
so that's how we use keyword searches to actually find which is the right product. Because you might have a great idea, but you've just got the wrong keyword.
Yeah, and because it's a clear example, and I usually actually use this in our academy, is that water bottle and drink bottle.
Yeah.
So I'm looking for a drink bottle, and I write drink bottle in because that's what I call a drink bottle, but then I find out that actually 1,000 more people are calling it water bottle.
Yeah.
So I want to look at the data under the main, it's called a main buyer keyword. So the main keyword that my customers are using to find that product is in fact water bottle and not drink bottle.
And it was the same with cold plunge and ice bath. You'd think most people call it a cold plunge. You look, the search volume's pretty low, but then you do ice bath and the search volume's 4 times as high.
Yeah,
so
ice
you
bath.
need to know the right word.
Kill it in Australia, where cold plunge is killing it in US. It's different people have different ideas of what things are called, and that's really step 1 and step 2, isn't it? Finding demand and then making sure the keyword is the right.
Another thing on that too, it's there can be heaps of search volume, but then the revenue might be low. But then it's because the product is actually too cheap.
Yep.
Because think about it, it's high search volume, but the product only costs $10.
Yep.
So you're timesing the search volume by the amount of the retail price.
Yeah.
That can be low. But if the product's $100, then it's going to be way higher. So that's why also we teach and this is kind of the next step it was profitability, which is you want to sell products that cost over $50 retail price.
Yeah.
Because then there is enough money there for you to make profit as the seller. Yeah. As a rule of thumb, you make about 30%.
Yeah.
So if you sell a product for $100, you take 30%, take home 30%, that's $30.
Yeah. And what's the reason why, to do with pricing, why does that help selling? Explain that. What does it give us profitability wise? I know you know the answer. Why do we get more? We get more profit, actual physical profit, which makes it easier to expand and grow the business. Smaller margins on a cheaper product gives us less actual profit.
Well, think about it like this. It's you're selling a $100 product. You make one sale, you make $30. Sick. Or you could choose to sell a $10 product. You make one sale, you make $3.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm taking the $30 over the $3. So all that, put the effort into selling the more expensive product. You actually sell less. You buy less stock overall because you don't need to sell as many units, and you make way more money.
So it's almost like you have less inventory to worry about. You have less time and energy trying to sell that. Maybe you put the same time and energy to sell one product, but you make more, three times more from selling that one product than you do. Sorry, not 3 times more. Yeah, almost 3 times more selling that one product.
No, 10 times more.
10 times more.
Yeah.
From 10 times. Yeah, 10 times more.
Their numbers go.
Yeah, 10 times more than selling that one cheaper product. So that energy you put into that it makes such a difference. So that's why that's one of the main reasons why we have to say sell over $50, because it gives you more leeway to play with the profits to then expand
Totally.
or spend more on PPC and stuff, all sorts of
And
things.
also,
just-
things happen in
yeah.
business. Like you need to have that that leeway in terms of if you want to run a coupon, like 20% off. If you're
Yeah.
again $10, 20% off, your margins are becoming non-existent by the
Yeah.
end of it. Or more competitors come in. Can you compete with price? Like there's so many factors that need to be considered. And when you're playing with very little money, is very difficult, and you can run it to zero very quickly.
It's so true. And like we ended up, and we still do sell now products that cost $3,500.
Yeah.
And our margins are like 20%, but it's just like, boom, we sell one of those. We don't sell them that often. Actually, we've sold a lot, but like we don't sell them that often. And it's like, boom, you get like $800 a pop.
And the margins, exactly. The margins aren't 30%, but you're still making $800 per sale. So
It's like,
it's very...
How many products do you have to sell that cost $10 that make you $3 margin to make 800?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thousands of them, right?
Yeah.
And Veron, you mentioned a really good point there. Like if you have to have a sale on, like if you got like Eric said, $100 product, $30 product, and you only got $3 profit and $30 profits, if you have to do a sale and you're dropping that down by 50% or something, that's a big drop.
Yeah.
You're only getting $1.50 at the end of that, where you're still getting $15, which still, you're making money. So it's very huge on that as well.
Yeah, exactly. So to recap, it's like step one is demand, make sure that there's search volume and revenue. And then step two is profitability, which is make sure the product costs more than $50.
Yeah.
If you can already just spot those two things, you're just looking on Amazon, you're scrolling around and you have the Google Chrome extension open, the Google Chrome extension. You already know search volume. You see it shows you straight away. You already know the revenue, shows you straight away. And now you're thinking, okay, like the average price is over $50. Sweet. Tick, tick, tick. We might be onto something here.
Yeah, and this is something that is for us second nature now. Like when we're shopping for Amazon, Zonguru is opened anyway. It's not like, we're doing product research now. It's like, no,
That's how Prodigy X was born.
Yeah.
We were looking to buy the product and we had the skills that it was just like blatantly obvious that this was a massive opportunity.
Yeah. Actually, on that point, what you said earlier, Eric, is when we were saying that, sometimes you look and the search volume is really high, but the revenue doesn't match up. Could it also be like in the scenario of the ice bath, that simply there isn't a product that actually the customers are looking for?
Yeah, that is a possibility.
Which
might just be that
it's very rare, but in the ice bath case, was it like that when you looked at it?
It's harder as a beginner to spot those though.
In the ice bath case, there was several products doing over $10,000 a month in Australia, and the competition, which is then the next step, which we'll get to, was very bad.
Yeah.
And I can elaborate unless we want to talk about
I think the competition is next, but maybe actually let's talk about the competition
Just
and then
quickly,
we'll mark through.
We spoke about price though. I wanted to add something because we were talking about pricing and profitability, but we didn't actually mention the actual cost of the product as well. So just quickly touch on that. So obviously we want to get products that are over $50 for price, but there's also, we want to make sure that the product is actually going to be profitable. We need to know like how much that product costs. So that is part of the step of profitability that I want you just to elaborate on.
Yeah, that's why I said like as a rule of thumb, we take home 30%.
Yep.
So like if you're watching this at home, you're probably thinking, well, where's the other 70% go? That goes between Amazon doing your storage, fulfillment, customer service. Amazon's going to take a percentage, right? Because they do all the heavy lifting for you. You never need to see, touch, fulfill your own products. Amazon does it all for you. Rightfully so, they get paid for that. It's about 30% as well. Then the remaining 40% is kind of like your supplier and your shipping cost and everything else there. So it's split in three ways. It's between your supplier and the shipping cost. Then it goes over to Amazon, and then the remainder is yours. And it should be roughly 30, give or take.
So selling a product that's $50, you would expect you need to find that product using Alibaba or wherever you find your products.
Well, we use Alibaba, and we highly recommend you do too. It's phenomenal.
So you need, if it's $50, you need to find that product within 30% roughly of that $50. Otherwise, it's probably not going to be profitable enough to sell.
And just to say, the extra 10%, if you're like, that's only 90%, guys, the extra 10% is like wriggle room.
Yeah,
that is just like give or
30,
take
30.
flexibility of like where it needs to go.
Profits.
Because each order you do is going to cost something different.
Yeah.
You might not be aware of that, but we always say that your first order that you do will probably be your most expensive one you will ever do, because it will be the order that has the least amount of units.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that 10% is like, you're going to spend that on a little bit of PPC. So it's like, it's nice having a little buffer all the time.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah. Awesome. So that moves
I'm just here thinking now. I'm like, I miss product research. I'm gonna go do some when I get home.
So we've got competition, but before competition, I want to add that for a first, there are certain niches or categories that we don't recommend for beginners. So I just want to like tick those off, because straight away when you're looking at it, you can be like, oh no, that falls under that category. Thank you, next. When you're more advanced, like most definitely. But the reason that we don't suggest what we're about to talk about is because they just require a few more hurdles may come up.
Yeah, this is even like before demand, and like you already know, like, and we teach this in our program in depth, like you don't sell consumables, for example, because firstly, you don't want to be selling a product that someone eats and then they get friggin' sick. And then like, there's just all this complexity that comes with that. Also, consumables require TGA, which is therapeutic goods, bloody administration or whatever in Australia.
So
highly complex.
this includes like anything that you eat, but also like
Cream,
apply
whatever.
to the skin. Like
all of
anything.
these products are
They have
massive
expiry
no-go.
dates, is everything.
Yeah.
Like there's so many different
And
regulations.
we'll just quickly go over this so we can get back to the stuff. But like, you don't want to sell consumables. You don't want to sell jewelry because there's sizing differences and
Same as clothing.
Yeah,
or fashion
complexities,
items,
fashion
something like that.
items, all of this here. For the most part, we recommend on your first product not to sell electronic products.
At least complicated electronic products.
yeah.
It's pretty simple, I
If
think.
it's simple, then it's okay. And it depends on what your risk tolerance is like. Look, there's a high likelihood that something could go wrong with an electronic product in manufacturing, etc. That being said, now we sell a lot of electronic products and it's fine. But it's just like our first products were never electronic, right? Because we wanted to learn it with the easiest products possible.
Yeah, and in Australia is very strict, I like to add, because I've had to do like a lot of research to get electrical certificates for electrical products in
and
Australia.
there's stuff like that.
So that stuff is just an extra pain in the ass to do that you don't need when you're first trying.
Yeah, and then finally there's seasonal products. So you don't want to sell products that are only hot in summer, like pool stuff, unless you want a business that only runs for half the year.
Yeah, or like a Christmas tree.
Like if that's your passion, if you're like a pool expert or something and you want to sell pool products, maybe that's for you and you're going to just do really well.
Just have to manage your stock in a very smart way and just don't order for winter because you're going to make no money. But we like to build businesses that run around the clock 24/7 all year long. So like, don't do seasonal. So to recap, consumables, seasonal, jewelry and fashion,
electronics
and electronic products.
And I will actually put out there that something to keep in mind is like really heavy, big products. Like if you're like, oh, I'm going to start selling this couch, that's going to be very expensive.
Great, it's over $50. The margin's going to be phenomenal. But another one that's also is like products that are like you have to put together.
Super complicated.
Like products that are, what's the word for when you bloody put something together?
Like flat packs, like IKEA stuff.
Because literally, like my first product I ever sold was the bamboo fruit basket in USA, and it was a great product. But the main issue was customers would always be like, a screw's missing. It didn't come with the wrench. I'm like, oh. And then I have to pay like to send a tiny little wrench over all the way to America. That was back when, but that was just that complexity because they had assembly. That's the word I was looking for. You don't want products that require complicated assembly. And that was even, it had 2 baskets. It had 2 side pieces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws and a wrench, and it had like a little instruction. That even was like enough to cause like problems sometimes. And it was okay. It was still super profitable. I ended up selling the business. But at the time, it was just one of those headache things like, the missing screws, or the screws got rusted, or someone freaking put it on backwards.
And to add to that as well, like hearing you speak about that is like me thinking, maybe there's an opportunity here, like, because if you can actually find a way to make things simpler and make things like easier for the customer, you can actually take business of other people, because it's like you were having those issues. If someone bought a product that didn't have those issues because maybe it had less screws or less parts.
If the fruit basket now was already assembled,
pop up,
it was adjustable, the side pieces, and you could just pull it
up.
up.
Just a pop up, Like, so that's it. So these are ways you can like
Clever.
think of things like, oh, this person's got all these bad reviews because they're missing screws, or this. That's an opportunity. So like you can think of it the other way around as well. So.
Yeah, which leads us into competition. It's like you need to then, okay, it has demand. It's looking profitable. It's not.
It's sellable, like it ticks all the boxes.
It ticks all the boxes. Now it's like, what is your competition? The question when you're looking at competition is, what is your competition doing, and can you do it better?
And this part here, I will say, is for most people the most difficult because it requires a lot more, like, demand and profit. You have numbers. $50, yes or no, tick. Like, demand, like, is there $10,000 a month for the top seller? Yes or no, tick. cool.
The numbers don't change. They're
Yeah,
there.
the numbers don't. It's
yes or no.
It's objective.
Yeah.
Whereas now it goes into the realm of a little bit of subjectivity, where it's like you need to use a little bit of your own critical thinking, and you need to be able to analyze a listing well. And really, it comes down to now understanding the elements of an Amazon listing to know if that competitor's good or not.
That's
Yeah.
right.
So there's the
Who
basics.
wants to elaborate?
Like, where do you even
I can
start?
elaborate.
There's a few
Yeah.
different. I think we can do a bit of it because there's a few different things. Like firstly, it's like the listing itself. Like, are they actually nailing a high quality listing? But then you can. There's also like the thought of like, is there like, are they hitting the right avatar? Are they even marketing to the right people? There's multiple
let's
things.
start with the story of Prodigy X and what we were just saying before. So like, we're on there looking to buy an ice bath.
Yep.
We opened the Zonguru Chrome extension. Bang, there's search volume. There was like 600 search volume. Bang, the top seller's doing over $10,000 a month. Bang, the second top seller's doing over $10,000 a month. Bang, they're selling for $150. So we're like, demand, yes.
Bang, bang,
Yeah.
bang.
Profitability, yes. And now it's just like, what's the competition like?
And before even looking at the listings, you saw that no one was targeting
I
the right
already knew,
avatar.
instantly I already knew there was low competition because, well, I'm a young male, I'm an athlete, and I'm looking to buy this product. I know that other people just like me, all of my friends, everyone who's talking about this product at the time, Joe Rogan, Andrew Huberman, all predominantly males, all athletes. And I'm looking there and the ice bath images are an ice bath. Cool. It's an ice bath. But it had a
doghouse.
female in there and for whatever reason, the water was soapy. They were
Yeah.
selling it as like some sort
like
of
a hot tub.
some sort of like portable tub for women for like a spa tub.
And they're like
Yeah, and they had,
bright
like,
blue
clowns
or
on
like
it.
Yeah, and they
stuff.
had these like exactly like, and they had some weird text like "be happy" with like because they were all Chinese sellers. So obviously, I'm like, well, these guys are targeting the completely wrong demographic.
yeah.
Their product is hideous because I'm the avatar and I think this is ugly. And then I clicked into it, and then I realized they only have 3 images. They don't have a video.
So that's the next thing. Like
Their
firstly
bullet
they
points
want.
are
Let's
lackluster.
do-
Yeah.
Their A+ content doesn't exist.
Let's do one thing at a time. So,
So
avatar is
firstly-
first. It's like
the wrong target.
yeah, the wrong, or what you're the customer, you were the customer at this stage, and what product that the customer was looking for wasn't there.
You wanted a nice, sleek thing that you could be like, this is like,
This is
me.
cool.
This is cool.
I
want
feel
one
like
of
I'm
these.
in the 1%.
I want a sick brand.
Gym bro.
No one was
type
doing
vibe.
that. No one was doing that. And you might not always find on Amazon. That's more of a rare case, but you'll see that's a very big opportunity straight away. But
Yeah.
then it leads to the listing, which you just got into.
Yeah.
Now this will be more common that there's more the listing
Yeah.
issues than there is like a very
blatant like, just
opportunity.
misplacement of
Yeah, it's more so
of,
these days, especially with Amazon
avatar.
growing. It's more so that there's people have just not know how to sell on Amazon yet, or they don't have the listing,
Yeah.
or they don't put the effort in, or they might even be a brand from the US that's not even really like they only put a few of their images up because they don't take it seriously. So this is where it comes down to
And you
listing.
just mentioned also, and I talked about the listing, and I just want to mention this so we don't forget. There's also an opportunity when sometimes products from USA
Yeah.
are available in Australia, but they're shipped from USA, so the shipping time is 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Whenever you see those products, and this happens all
they're
the
killing
time,
it.
and they're killing it, they're making money, you know that competition, I can beat them purely on shipping time because
Yeah.
I'm going to send my products into the warehouses in Australia. Amazon Australia is going to fulfill it to the customers in Australia within 3 or 4 friggin' days.
Yeah.
Those guys are taking 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Well, you best believe they're going to buy the product. If you make it as optimal and beautiful as it can be and you get the reviews, you're going to take all of the money off those USA sellers quick.
Chuck Australia owned on the listing title.
Exactly.
Bam, you're instantly trusted and you got a few reviews and
Yeah.
people are going to trust you and they're like, well, why would I wait 3 weeks? I'm
Yeah.
going to get this right
Exactly.
now.
And
right.
customers
Beat them on
want
price
their
as well
products
and you're
quick.
instantly going to take their
And
sales.
on that, in terms of, as you said, put an Australian flag on it. When you click on a listing, you have the opportunity to have like about the brand. If you go into Prodigy X on Amazon, you'll see a photo of the 3 of us. We're a family-owned business. We're based in Australia. And people also like coming onto Amazon and be like, oh, they're Australian. I want
Yeah.
to support their business. They're a family.
Even in our title, we have Oz owned.
Let's pull it all the way back. So for someone who is new to Amazon sphere, what's a listing and what is a listing and what are the components of an Amazon listing?
Yeah.
I'll go there. So for a listing, if you're on amazon.com.au, you write in the ice bath, you see all the different sellers that are selling an ice bath. So you'll see one picture, which is called the hero shot. If you click on that, it opens the listing. So the listing is the product detail page. It's everything about that product. And there are different components of that listing. And obviously each component, it can be done well or it can be done not very well.
What are the components?
So we have all the images. So in terms of a hero shot, which is the main image, but then you've got all the images that come after. So I believe you can have about 7. You can have a video there as well. You can have specific keywords in a title, specific keywords in your bullet points. And then as you scroll down, you also have like product details, but in further detail, and this is called your A+ content. And this is when it can be beautiful visuals, giving even more information that your images have already done. And this is how, what I mentioned before in terms of your brand story, things like that. It's giving more information, and this is your opportunity to really sell how your product is going to change your customer's life. So remember, Amazon is a visual platform, okay? When your customer cannot touch it, they cannot feel it, they cannot try it on. So how are you going to depict it that, yes, this is exactly what you're looking for and it will make your life better? So these are the different elements that Amazon in a listing has for you to have the opportunity to sell. And then obviously right at the bottom, and this is a massive one, is also the reviews, which you don't have control over. However, there are strategies to help you there as well.
And the key thing to mention is, like we've spoken about so many times, Amazon's a search platform. So when people are searching, the most important thing they see first is the hero shot. And they don't see that hero shot if you also don't have the right title, because the titles were the keywords. So they're the first 2 main things you need to get right, because if you don't have the right keywords, people don't find you because that's how they search you. If you don't have the right hero shot, people don't see you on the screen.
And
so
it's like we were saying before, ice bath and cold plunge. You need both of those in your title, because otherwise if you just have cold plunge, you might not be showing up then for ice bath, and you're losing all of those potential sales.
Those title and hero shot is to get the attention of the customer, and then you move into the listing, your dot points, your infographics and your photos, your brand content, your reviews. That's what sells the product. So there's 2 different aspects of what you need to begin
and
with.
doubling down on that as well there, like you just mentioned the importance of the title, how important it is to have the right keywords there. Very easy to find the right keywords just using SongGuru. You literally click a button, it tells you all the keywords, you put that in your title, easy. The hero shot, however, and this is where most people go wrong, is the absolutely most important part of your listing. Because think about it, the customer's scrolling on Amazon. There's all of these different products there. Why are they going to click on yours?
I don't look at the title. I just look at the hero shot.
Yeah, exactly.
I never look at the
Amazon
title.
is a visual platform, so customers are only shopping with their eyes. So they're going to just click on the thing that just draws their attention the hardest. So there's a real strategy behind also, like, you know, even like, for example, some sellers, they have the square image where they can put the hero shot. Theirs is small. And then the one next to it takes up just the full size. It hits each corner, so it's big and profound. That alone is going to make your click-through rate, the more likelihood of someone clicking on your hero shot, bigger. Another story I always tell is back with Golden Nature with the bamboo fruit basket. I was the first person to launch the bamboo fruit basket, and my hero shot was the fruit basket pointing to the left, and it had fruit in the fruit basket on the top tier and the bottom tier, and it was pointing left. Everyone, that was like killing it. Everyone then started copying that. So over time, you go on, you write in fruit basket, you're scrolling down. Everyone's hero shots was pointing left and it was full of fruit. So I'm like, my sales are going down now because everyone's freaking copying my beautiful hero shot. So I'm like, well, everyone's going left with fruit. I'm going to change my hero shot to a pointing right with no fruit.
Went backwards.
So just the opposite to everyone else. And now because everyone was doing the same thing and mine was the opposite, as soon as I did that, my sales exploded. I think it went from 10 to 25K because I changed that hero shot at that time.
Such a minor difference.
It's a minor difference, but the point is, like, if when you're analyzing the niche, you can, like, if everyone's doing one thing, you can go the other way and now yours stands out. And there's a real certain science towards hero shots. You can add your packaging in. You can add a little bit of a visual. You can make it a bit brighter, you know. But the point is that you need your hero shot, your main image needs to stand out. It's the hook. It needs to be so absolutely beautiful and profound that the customer can't miss it. They cannot miss it. They see that and they're like, I have to click on that. And it does take, like, also like a bit of intensity behind, like, the orchestration of it and having a whole bunch of different variations that you test over time to just nail that hero shot. And once you get that, they've clicked. Now it's like, okay, everything else is optimized.
That's
You have the
right.
reviews and the bullet points and the video, and then the building that desire, which ultimately leads them to click that buy now button and bang.
Yeah.
You've just
I
made
was
money.
going to say, bring it back to competition, because that's 100% right. This is what we're looking for. We're looking for people that aren't doing that right. We're looking for holes and gaps in the competition where people haven't got the hero shot, haven't got the title, haven't got the bullet points, haven't got the infographics. So that's our main point of when we're doing product research. Is as soon as we see that, and we see all the time, remember that coffee machine? It had okay hero shot, pretty basic, 2 images, and it was the second top seller doing like 10K or whatever a month.
Yeah.
And like barely any reviews, crappy bullet points. That's opportunity straight away.
I see these all the time. There was a freaking nut milk maker. So
Yeah,
you put a bunch of nuts into a thing and it makes milk out of
A
it.
nut milk maker.
Yeah, that's the
Perfect in Bali. It's hard enough to get cow milk around here.
literally. It's like this product had so much search volume. It had so much search volume, and it had absolutely like the worst listings ever. And I'm like, whoever just. And then I went onto Amazon USA, and this is now a bit of a sidetrack, but a cool strategy. Go onto Amazon USA, see what the best ones are over there, and see if they're selling in Australia.
Yep.
If they're not, you just kind of make a variation of the best sellers in America in Australia.
Yeah.
But back to competition, like you were saying, just if competitors don't have an optimized listing, you can come in, competitors are missing a video. Let's just say they have a good bullet point, they have a good title, they have 4 images, no video, and a half of an A+ content. Great. And they're making money. Fantastic. Because we're just going to come in, get a video, get all the images, have an optimized A+ content. You're going to take all of their sales because you've put the effort in, you have an optimized listing.
Yeah.
Even with all the reviews.
Even with the keywords, like we've talked about Zonguru today. Use Zonguru and you can search the keywords, the top keywords that are making the most revenue. And you can see your competitors and be like, wait, they're not even using that keyword. They're not using that keyword. And you'll be like, wait a minute, if I use those keywords, I can just easy sales. So some people don't even understand that they've gone the main keyword. They might be doing all right for that main keyword, but there's all these side keywords that they're not even making money on that are easy pickings. Sometimes they're the easiest ones to get. They're cheaper to advertise for. They're just there.
Yeah.
So it's like there's so much opportunity with even keywords that you can make. And until
And
you
this
know
is all
that,
within our academy,
yeah,
it's super
until you know
in-depth,
that, you don't know it. And
single
that's
step.
There's money always left on the board,
Yeah,
and
so
you can cash in on it.
To make sure that you've got a bang-in listing, or to determine if a competitor doesn't, you've got basically 2 elements. Are they tapping into Amazon's algorithm in terms of all the keywords that they're using, number 1? And then number 2, are they tapping into sales psychology with all the images, A+ content, review strategy
For the
to
right
then
avatar.
for the right avatar to actually want to purchase their product?
Even one, like you said, sales psychology is like, even some might have a decently optimized listing, but they're focusing on product features.
Yeah.
Whereas then we come in and we're going to be like, well, they're focusing on the features. Customers want to know how the product's going to change their life. Let's come in here and focus everything on the benefits, on the desired outcome, on how it's going to change life. And this is another next level of then.
That's a very
creating
common,
listings.
that's one common thing that everyone gets wrong a lot. And it's like hard to get your head around because it's just understanding how to sell it and to get the benefits out there. It's very common to just highlight the features.
Yeah.
And it's very hard to twist it all.
Everyone wants to have this microphone on a listing and talk about its adjustable handle and how easy it is to move this and how fluffy and good the muff is to whatever but no one talks about how it's going to make your podcasting career so much better and how it's going to make your voice so much crispier that's going to give you so many more views.
Yeah.
You got to focus on the outcome of the product. Like, features are important, but you have to always link them then to the benefits.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember, people buy with their emotional mind, not their logical mind.
Yeah.
That's probably the number 1 tip.
Yeah.
All right, so with competitors, we've talked about the listing a lot, and there's lots of things that we can do the listing. So let's pretend we've determined that the product that we're looking for, that the competitors in terms of their listing, under-optimized, we can blow them out the park. What's the next thing that we're looking for when we're analyzing how successful or how competitive a competitor is?
I think competition, that's it.
Well, but we haven't spoken about reviews, and we haven't spoken about branding, and we haven't spoken about product.
Well, I guess reviews and
Will that
branding
be
comes into competition though, because you're trying to see if anyone there is not branding properly, if there's opportunities to come in with a new brand.
I know, that's why I'm saying we need to talk about it.
This is still in competition now,
still
going
part of
into very specifics.
so
it's totally important.
No, that's what I'm saying.
And reviews is obviously so important. We did a whole thing on reviews the other day. So I think it's all part of the competition. You're starting to say, okay, well, there's gaps in the market here. They haven't got a review listing. There's not many good brands out there. There's opportunity.
Maybe we have to. I think we just put it so I just want to say a sentence on reviews. If I'm looking at any product, and even if they say all the listings are shit, if I look and then there's 16,000 reviews on over 3 products, thank you, next.
Yeah,
you are not going to compete with those reviews.
No.
Yeah.
If they've got a good review.
Very unlikely.
Yeah.
Very unlikely.
And then on the contrary to that, if you see products on Amazon Australia and it has a 3.5 star rating, then
sorry,
wrapping it up.
If you have a 3.5 star rating and it's making money, like it's making any money, and it's got low reviews, then you also know I can come in and just beat these guys and having more better reviews and take all of them.
Yeah, definitely.
But I really do think for competition, we've kind of it is like there's a lot to it, and I think that like that for the main premise, like I think we've covered it quite well.
I want to say one more thing on the competition is there a competing brand that's an epic elite brand?
Yeah.
So if you're selling something and then Nike jumps up on the page and there's 5 products that are all Nike brand, it doesn't matter how bad or good their listing is, you're competing against Nike and you probably won't win.
They can have one, just a hero shot, no video, nothing, and it's just like a Nike whatever. And it's just like customers are still going to buy that over yours because it's freaking Nike. They already trust it. They already know who it is. They already know like they're going to buy Nike over yours. So yeah, if you go to a niche and it's just dominated by like brands that you already know, then it's it's unlikely.
We've covered a lot in competition here, and just so everyone's aware, like we actually have like a tick and chick, like we have a rating in our a tick and check rating sheet in our academy, which literally makes you analyze all these different things we've discussed and rate the competition for opportunities. Yeah. It's like it is. We've covered a lot of things here, but we go into way more detail inside what we actually.
We've tried to make
super step by step.
We've tried to make this subjective element as objective as possible via a rating system, and still giving it a criteria.
Yeah.
So we have to wrap this episode up, but basically...
Do we have to wrap it? Let's do a summary there, because like, all right, so you find a product that has high demand, you know that it's profitable, and now also you've checked and there's low competition. What do you do? Like, what's the next step? Like, sick, all right, good to know all of that. Now what?
Now you need to find that product, and you've already looked for the products, but now you need to create the sexy brand and make sure you beat everything, beat all those things you found that's missing.
Well, the next step is to now reach out to suppliers in Alibaba. You want to start getting samples. You want to start
thinking your unique proposition to make it better.
Exactly right. USP, your unique selling proposition as well, or visual differentiation, we call it.
Yeah.
What's something that you can then also add and make your product a little bit different to everyone else in the market, and that's why we also use like Amazon USA for inspiration. What's killing it in USA that doesn't exist in Australia yet? Potentially, can we make a version of that in Australia with our own brand?
Because we've basically found the opportunity. Now we need to make sure how we can actually build a product that's going to beat the opportunity, and then also maintain its presence and not just be the same.
Yeah,
and you can see really how like all of this stuff is like how we are just now just being better and better and better than everyone else on the market, which is really like the main thing. You're just seeing what's out there, then you're just giving the market something that's better.
I listened to something recently, a podcast, and I'll be really quick on this because I know we're wrapping up, but basically it was saying that like you're looking at the best competitors and you're seeing like what they're not doing right or what they're not doing well. And if you can then do those better than them, that is your unique proposition already, because you're literally still selling the same product, but you're doing things they're not doing right. And that's all you need to do is you need to beat them at the thing they can't do right. And then you're now a step ahead.
Yeah, it's not, you're not recreating the wheel. You're not pretending that, I'm going to be the next Apple. Like, you are literally, what are Australians buying on Amazon? How can you do it a little bit better?
Like we said,
and give it to them.
Less screws, less work, like just little things like that can make your product better.
With the ice bath, like everyone, they were like navy blue and had weird designs. Let's just make a sleek black one with our beautiful cool brand on the front. That's all. Yeah. And we added a water thermometer. So one little tiny thing that costs $1 extra, and also put that in the hero shot.
Yeah.
And it's already 10 million times better than everyone else in the market.
Yeah.
And that we made $100K in a month selling that product.
Yeah.
In just Australia.
Good way to finish up for this podcast.
Yeah. So in terms of product research, it is a science and it is an art, and it is a step-by-step process. So if you're thinking about starting an Amazon FBA business in Australia, it's not that like, oh, I don't have a product idea. No, if you join our academy, we teach you how to find that product idea. It's almost better if you don't have an idea.
Yep.
Because then you're not
You wanna
emotionally
delete all your
attached.
ideas out of your head
you're
and
not
start.
emotionally attached to any product. So if you are interested in starting and you're interested in starting us, so you get our exact strategy and our exact criteria, there'll be a link below.
Yep.
But otherwise, we'll see you in the next episode.
See you next one. See you
Peace.
guys.